would have been nice. I know it. We'll call to order the City of Douglasville City Council Legislative Work Session for tonight, which is January the 12th, Thursday, January 12th, 2023. We'll have our invocation by Pastor Robert King from Golden United Methodist Church. It's good to see you, Pastor.
Yes.
Look like we just saw each other the other day.
I know, we did, long time. Good
Yes.
evening, Madam Mayor, to the City Council, and to all of Douglasville. Grace and peace to you. As we get ready to pray, I want to say a word to the council, and that is thank you for your faithfulness. Thank you for your faithfulness in serving our city. And I pray that as the year and its work begins, that you would have the mind of Christ, of compassion and wisdom, and of diligence as you do your work on behalf of our city and its citizens in our community. So thank you for all you do. Let us pray. We give thanks to you, O Lord, this day, for you are good and your steadfast love endures forever. We give you thanks, O God, for this day that you have blessed us with, and certainly being our shelter in the time of storm this day. As we gather tonight, O God, we thank you for this city, and God, for the leaders who have gathered as chosen to make decisions on its behalf. We ask, O God, your blessings on these leaders, that you would pour out your Holy Spirit tonight to fill them with wisdom, knowledge, compassion, and care, so that, God, our decisions are made wisely, with attentiveness and with mindfulness for the broken, the hurting, and the poor. We ask, God, that you would bless all the residents of this city so that we may love you with our whole hearts and minds and soul and strength, that our plans may glorify you, and that your kingdom comes in how we treat each other and the initiatives and the policies and the practices that are enacted tonight. All these things we pray and ask in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, and leading the pledge, being on automatic pilot. And Pastor, that'll preach. That was a good word in your invocation. Thank you so much. We don't know if we have any visitors, but I will go through the announcements and presentations tonight. We do not have any presentations. We had lengthy ones this past Monday with presenting our folks that were helping us in the community with the litter control with Keep Douglasville Beautiful, so we don't have a lot of those tonight. Presentations, we don't have any, but we'll move on, and I'd like to welcome you to the Douglasville City Council meeting. This is a legislative work session. Items tonight will be discussed, and we will go over the agenda to help us to vote on our next meeting. It will not be on Monday because that is Martin Luther King national holiday, so we'll have our city council meeting on Tuesday, the 17th, where Mr. Mayor Pro Tem will preside. So welcome to the Douglasville City Council. My name is Michelle Robinson. I'm mayor of the city of Douglasville. If the business you're here for is not listed as agenda item, there will be ample time under the item comments from citizens and delegates for you to discuss your business. When you come forward, please give your name and address for the record. You have 5 minutes to talk to us. If we have a hearing for the committees, under that committee, you'll have 20 minutes for in totality, 20 minutes for each side, for those in opposition and those who are in agreement with those items. Each person has one opportunity to speak. When you come forward, there are cards you should have filled out. If anyone's coming forward, give your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes to talk to us. We'll handle the agenda items by committee chairperson. And if you have anything printed, please give that to our city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker. Now we will go through the agenda. There are copies outside as well as one that is printed above us that you can follow through. Now there is, I apologize, I don't know if this was on here or not, but this proclamation is for the 26th. So we're going to save it until then. I have it was, okay. It just sat there for me to sign. All righty. So then we'll move on with the agenda. Economic Development Committee, that's chaired by Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business at this time under the Economic Development Committee.
Thank you, sir. Finance Committee, chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight.
Thank you, sir. Housing and Community Affairs Committee, chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee, chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
No business at this time, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Personnel and Organization Committee chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight.
Thank you so much, Councilman Watts. Planning and Development Committee chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
No business tonight, Madam Mayor.
It's a miracle. Okay, we'll move on to 11, Public Improvement and Beautification Committee chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No business tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. Public Relations Committee chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes.
No business tonight. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome, thank you. Public Safety Committee chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
No business at this time, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Davis. Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight.
Wow, so now we have an executive session, and can we switch up to 2, or we can't do that? Ms. Acker? So after executive session, we can, I'll just keep them in order. I'll open the floor for a motion to recess into executive session for the purpose of discussing documents related to cybersecurity.
So moved.
Thank you. I have a motion. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to recess into executive session for the purpose of discussing documents related to cybersecurity. Do we have any comments, questions, or concerns from council? If not hearing any, all those in favor of adjourning into executive session, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We are adjourning to executive session to discuss cybersecurity. to this item? I don't see any. All those in favor of coming out of executive session, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who want to stay in, nay. Everybody wants to get out. So we're out of executive session. We're back into our regular meeting. And we'll move on then to the next committee, which is Technology Committee, chaired by Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have one item
You're
on the
welcome.
Technology Committee, and that is to authorize the mayor to sign the quote for sale and installation of firewall protection hardware and software with CNP Technologies LLC. I believe most of our questions, if not all of our questions, were answered in the executive session regarding this
Yes, and we have,
sensitive matter.
yes, sir, to be very careful as we see what happened at Hartsville and Southwest. We have to be
Yes.
really protective of our software and our technology.
Are there any other questions or issues that come up regarding this issue now? Doesn't look like it. Well, Madam Mayor, I guess we will place this on our main agenda. It was suggested put on the consent agenda, but it basically is the consent agenda for Tuesday. So we'll just leave it on the main agenda
Yes,
for
sir.
Tuesday then. That's all we have under technology, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much. We'll move to I'm gonna leave it alone. We'll move to Transportation Committee, chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Certainly. Do we have any other business to come before council tonight? Except for congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs, national champions. Ooh, that's great. Go Dogs. And they have a 36% people trying to get into the school now. From last year to this year, that's a great jump.
36% jump in applications?
In applications, yeah, they had 39,000 people apply and only 16,000 accepted. But they said it was 39% or 36% jump. So that's crazy. It's phenomenal. We don't have any other business. We'll go to updates from city staff. Our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dodson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Staff attorney, Ms. Miranda Jordan.
Good evening, no
Good
business
evening.
tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. That's our deputy chief over there. We have anything from the police department?
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much. Our city manager, Marcia Hampton. I know we have something coming up on next Thursday.
Yes, ma'am. So we do have, of course, you all know we're closed on Monday, the 17th for, or I should say we're closed on Monday, the 16th for MLK. I know there'll be some folks that'll be volunteering. There was an email sent to you all for that. So your meeting will be Tuesday night. Also, you all should have received a phone call from Mayra Shaw asking about any comments or anything that you're interested in for anything you're interested in discussing with the retreat. If you have not received a phone call from her, let me know. But I know she said for those who she hadn't spoken to, she left a voicemail message. We have that. And then, of course, you all have Cities United coming up that following, the weekend before, the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd. Also, Ms. Acker sent you all an email about the Ethics Commission. If you have any questions, the Ethics Commission is not, someone from the office will not be able to be with us during the retreat. However, they have asked for questions in advance. So if you have questions in advance that you would like answered, they will reply to those questions, and they will be able to answer those. Our goal on that first day at 9 o'clock is to have a discussion with an attorney from Carl Vinson on ethics to get you all prepared for an election year. So any questions you have, we'll also talk about code compliance, our plans for how we're going to handle political signs, to get your blessing and your go-ahead, and that information following our meeting on that Thursday will be posted online for your citizens to have the same information. So it's an opportunity to ask whatever questions you all have, and so that we're prepared along with you for this year's election. We do also plan for next month to have Mr. Milton Kidd from Douglas County, the election superintendent, so you all can ask any questions you have, because even though Ms. Acker is your election superintendent for the city, she has to work with him to establish that election as well. So my goal for this year is to have as many county representatives and outside entities that you all partner with to come before you to speak, so that if you have questions during your meeting, you'll be able to answer those. But if there's something that I need to prepare you for your strategic planning meeting, please let me know, and I'll make certain to get that information on the agenda.
Question, Madam Mayor, then.
Yes, sir.
Will we have committee meetings at 5 on Tuesday or only at 6 o'clock?
On Tuesday, I think we only have a 6 o'clock meeting. Yeah, only a 6 o'clock meeting on Tuesday.
Thank you.
That was a great question.
I'll make certain you only have a 6 o'clock meeting.
Okay. Thank you so much, City Manager. We do have a staff report, a presentation from our Parks and Recreation Director, Mr. Bass, for the quarterly update in regards to the parks.
All right. Let's see here. All right, good evening, Madam
Good
Mayor.
evening.
And, members of council. Chris Bass, 8830 Gurley Road. It's an honor to present our quarterly report to you for the current fiscal year. I'll briefly go over some of the goals and objectives for the current fiscal year, but a lot of the content that will go in this presentation is reflective of the calendar year. I was before you all back in June with a mid-year report, so I'll kind of touch base on a few of those items that we did speak to. So first, our fiscal year goals, one being developing a cost recovery plan that's reflective of the current market, recognizing that there are some changes in the market, so we definitely want to stay on top of that. Secondly, begin implementation of the Jesse Davis Park Transition Plan. There was a plan that we developed to assist our residents with the transition as we close portions of the park down. So that's the second goal. Then third goal was to develop a program and operations plan for underutilized parks and play spaces. For example, Worthing Park, one that we didn't have a lot of programming taking place at, but we wanted to increase participation there. And develop a improved formalized process for citizens and customer feedback. In Parks and Recreation, we offer a lot of programs and events for our citizens. We can't do that without that feedback from our citizens. So it's important for us to be able to get that feedback. So developing some type of formal process and how we capture that input from our residents. And last but not least, complete the implementation of the master plan, which was adopted in 2018. I'll touch on that more during the Mayor and Council retreat, but I'm super excited about the progress that we've made in that master plan, as we have made a lot of steps forward in terms of implementing those recommendations. All right. So, really quick, just a few stats. Back in 2019, as we were embarking on the accreditation process, we decided to make sure that we were capturing certain data in order to benchmark from year to year and be able to make decisions on how we offer programs and how we budget for our department. So I'll share just a few of these numbers that we've been able to capture for the current calendar, 2022 calendar year. We've offered over 100 programs and events to the community, which is a major increase over the past few years. We've built our program staff, and now we're able to provide more opportunities for our residents, and specifically residents of all ages, all backgrounds, senior citizens, and I'll touch on that a little bit more. Over 2,400 youth and programs registered to do our programs for Parks and Recreation, which is huge. That's our athletic programs, our summer camps, over 2,400. That's a major increase compared to what we've had over the past few years, specifically because of the impact of the pandemic. 60% registration increase for girls, youth sports. We've heard conversations in terms of are we making sure we're equitable. So that was one area that we wanted to increase, and we've increased it by 60%. That's in leagues and programs. Over 600 older adults. I have to be careful with that word, as we program certain, our older adults don't like to be called senior citizens all the time, so we just say older adults over at the Jesse Davis Park. Over $100,000 in grant funds received to extend program opportunities, specifically in our underserved communities, and over $10,000 awarded in program scholarships, recognizing that although times are changing and the fees are increasing, everyone still can't afford those to participate in the program. So we've been able to offer over $10,000 in scholarships for our programs and services throughout our Parks Recreation Department. And lastly, but not least, thanks to a lot of decisions made by you all, we've invested in this calendar year $3.1 million in facility improvements and to upgrade our trails and playgrounds. That's thanks to ARPA, SPLOST, and a few other funding sources. One major being the renovations at Woodland Workers Park. All right, so specifically going to West Pines, as we've had some different changes and challenges there in terms of working through different construction and easement projects that I know you all are familiar with. We've still been able to maintain service there. Our Golf Pro has done a great job leading that team. So just to highlight a few of the numbers there, 39% increase in revenue, which really helps with our debt service. About 34,000 rounds of golf played in the calendar year. So that's always great when we're still able to get people out and active, and it be a good source of leisure activities for our residents. We got a 58% increase in merchandise sales. Merchandise is so important in terms of our branding. So individuals are coming in, they're shopping with us, and we're able to contribute additional ways to our revenue stream outside of just the actual playing of golf. And then two major highlights, one hosting the USGA Women's Amateur Qualifier at West Pines, which we are always finding ways to promote tourism as it brings heads and beds. So West Pines has definitely led our department in terms of those tourism efforts, hosting that tournament, and the Georgia PGA West Pines Classic, which is a traditional classic tournament that we host every year. So going back, we talked about some of the programs that we've been able to offer. I mentioned 600 plus older adults. Those are programs that we have started implementing, getting ready for the renovation at Jesse Davis, as we'll have a new senior center. So we're offering line dancing, we're offering bingo, we're offering chair aerobics and other health and wellness classes for our citizens, our residents, in addition to a few special events. We've had our annual senior walk over at Willing Workers, just to kind of continue to build that base for our senior citizens, or our older Americans rather, over at the Jesse Davis Park. Our athletics division have done a great job continuing to offer more programs. And before 2020, we were only offering youth baseball. Since then, our athletic programs have tripled. We now offer youth basketball with 250 plus kids that participate, girls and boys. We now offer several camps throughout the year. We offer a girls volleyball league. We're tapping into lacrosse and finding ways to extend soccer. So we're becoming more diverse and not just sticking with just baseball in preparation for what's to come at Jesse Davis Park. We've hosted 7 major baseball, softball tournaments at Hunter Park, which is so important. Like I mentioned before, that tourism piece. But during the pandemic, we couldn't offer any baseball tournaments because they bring in such a large crowd, which was a hit to our economy. But now we're able to start offering those baseball, softball programs back, which helps our department continue to build our client base and help our city as a whole. And those were 7 major tournaments that brought citizens from not just the West Georgia area, but outside from different states as well. Community engagement has been one major area that we've been working on to increase. So we've expanded our operations beyond our parks. So we've built relationships with the residents in the tributary area and in the Gateway Village area to extend our footprint. So we've came to you in reference to a grant program for after-school programs throughout the community, and that's been going great. So we partnered with Gateway Village to actually go into their space, to their community areas, and our staff go and provide after-school programs and tutoring. This program was so essential because it helps with the learning loss that was put on a lot of our kids due to the pandemic with having to go virtual. So we've extended those programs in our facilities and outside of our facilities as well. So here are a few pictures just from some of those after-school programs, and we're continuing with it. We're expanding it. We're going through the summer to really help provide educational opportunities for our youth, but doing it in a fun and recreational way. Really quick, we have a few projects coming up this spring that I want to mention before I close. One being the renovation of the playground at at Fowler Field. That's the first phase of renovation at that park. We'll be coming to you to provide more input in terms of more details in terms of what's going on at Fowler Field. We know we have a major drainage issue that we need to address, but we've gotten with our consultants at GMC, and they've come up with some type of concept in terms of how we can make upgrades to that particular park. It started with us updating the playground. The playground was an older unit, and we want to make it consistent through all of our parks. We've updated the playground at Mill Village and Willing Workers, so we want to do the same at Fowler Field. So we have that poured rubber surface material, which was one of our recommendations in the master plan, which helps kids from a safety standpoint. So here's that concept. If you rode by Fowler Field, you see construction has already begun. They'll be getting ready to pour that surface material, and then this one will actually have a shade structure over it. As we know, it gets hot during the summertime. So that's one great thing coming out of this renovation.
Good.
And then last but not least, we'll be rolling out our mobile rec unit, which is really exciting. Again, we recognize that we aren't in all wards, but we're trying to do all that we can to provide activities for those residents in those areas as we plan for the future. So we'll be rolling that out this spring as well. I'll close just by saying we are super proud of our team. We have a team of subject matter experts, and we couldn't do it without their hard work and dedication, and we have started to see the fruits of our labor as we were recognized as the State Agency of the Year by the Georgia Recreation and Parks Association. So, we appreciate all you all support, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Let's give Mr. Bass a hand, first of all, for this award. Mr. Bass, you just have hit the ground running. You're doing such a fabulous job. We really appreciate you and your staff and how you've made a difference in the community. And parks, those are one of the departments that really was focused on during the pandemic because people wanted to get out. And so our parks have really been looked at and they've been favorable. So we appreciate everything that you've done throughout that time and what you're doing in the future. I'd had a couple of questions, and then I'll turn it over to the council to ask if they've had anything. With the youth sports programs, you were talking about girls and how we had volleyball. I was wondering about soccer still. What's going on have we had any updates on that?
Yes, ma'am. So we work with an association as our soccer provider over at Fowler Field. What we're looking to do is once Jesse Davis is up and running, partnering with that particular association to figure out ways to expand that soccer opportunities for all of our citizens, including those youth girls.
Including the girls. Okay, and then tennis, is that just through the school system or do we partner with? What's going on with tennis?
I'm sorry I failed to mention that I've had several conversations with Coach Watts about tennis. We are conducting a tennis assessment through USTA to figure out ways of expanding our tennis operations. That's infrastructure upgrades, that's programming upgrades, and just trying to determine what are some ways that we can reach more residents in terms of our tennis offerings. Specifically youth, we don't have a lot of youth that participate in our tennis program, so we're wanting to expand there as well. So that's a great point.
Yes, sir. As I was thinking about tennis, not that my knees and ankles and all that could do it, but cleaning up, when our son moved out, he has some stuff in the basement from when he had tennis lessons over at Hunter Park in the Boys and Girls Club. So I was just thinking about that with tennis. Golf, I hate to bring this one up because we've always had, but I haven't heard anything about the schools and partnering with us with the golf teams. How's that been going?
So a few of the local high schools do use the golf
Pines.
course for, yes ma'am, for practice.
Yes, sir.
We haven't had any major tournaments, as they have other areas where they do their tournaments and play throughout the year, but that's something we can definitely look into to figure out how we can bring more of our youth to West Pines.
Okay, it used to, every year was a situation, but you must have been handling it, so that's good. Our older adults, do we partner with Douglas County Senior Services to do programs together? Because I know we pay a fee to support senior services or older adult services in Douglas County.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
do we partner with them as well? through
So
Jesse Davis?
Dr. Gilchrist and I have been
Yes.
in communication throughout the year with anticipation of the completion for the senior center. What we want to do is make sure we're not duplicating. So I'll have a meeting with Dr. Gilchrist and our program staff to make sure that we're filling in the gap rather than duplicating any service that they have.
Okay, and then the last one is for scholarships for golf lessons. We have had, since West Pines is so fabulous, and we get all these great compliments about the course and how it's coming along and all of our renovations and upgrades, there are some people that may not be able to afford, or I understand the lessons are, it just depends on your financial bracket. Do we have scholarships to help people that may, and especially young people that may want to golf?
Yes, ma'am. So we currently don't have scholarships at West Pine. So that's something that we can look into. I'll get with Mr. Cartwright and see. He's extended programming. If you've seen, there's a photo with him doing
Yes.
a clinic for individuals with special needs and disabilities that was no charge. So I can definitely figure out ways to incorporate our scholarship and our opportunities through golf lessons.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's ARPA funds or how we could make that just something to look at in general, just to open up a more net opportunity for others to play golf who may not be able to afford the lessons
Yes,
from
ma'am. We
from one of our
definitely will.
pros.
Yeah, we'll see if that's feasible.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Bass. I hope I haven't monopolized the conversation. I'll open up to anyone else who has any. Coach, this is your committee. You have anything?
Go ahead and let other folks weigh in, and
Okay.
I'll save mine for last.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Couple things. Chris, thank you. Great presentation. You'd be very, very, very proud of the accomplishments you guys have created in the Parks and Rec. One quick thing about tennis opportunities, you may want to reach out to ALTA, Land and Lawn Tennis Association, because I think they have a larger membership base than USTA does. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they do that. But it might benefit you to reach out to ALTA as well, because they're very, very well organized.
Yes, sir.
As a tennis league. The other one is there's no mention of the ongoing search or attempt to create parks in wards 1 and 5. Is that, but that's not a park. It's a
I
wonderful
know,
thing to do.
I know, the wreck and
It's a
roll.
wonderful thing to have. It's a great idea. But do we have anything moving or shaking on attempting the?
Yes, sir. So this is actually part of my presentation that I'll share during the retreat. But we actually have started the process of conducting a land acquisition due diligence to identify some potential parcels where we can expand in Wards 5 and Ward 1. But I'll have more information on
Okay,
that once we
wonderful.
get to
Good.
the
Thank you so much. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Any others to my right?
Would like
Dr.
to say,
Bergamo?
thank you, Madam Mayor. Chris, you're doing an awesome job. Just the new look at Willing Working Park and the cleanliness, the residents have just been overjoyed with that. And I just want to say, you're just amazing. Thank you. You're
Aw.
passionate about what you do. And last summer, my granddaughter was a part of the summer program, and she said, Grammy, that is the best summer camp ever. So she'll be back again. Thank you so much. You're doing awesome.
Mr. Vice Chair, Councilman Davis, you have anything?
Well, you know, Chris never, ever amazed me. I ride down by Jesse Davis Park just about every day and ride through, and I tell you, I don't have anything to do during the day but just ride around. So I check out everything, and I tell you, you can see the progress going in all locations. Thank you, Chris.
Yes,
You're the
sir.
man.
We appreciate it.
Councilman Estes, Parks and Ward 5.
I will just reiterate what everybody is saying. Thank you for the incredible job that you do. I mean, to see the changes that have happened during a pandemic is just amazing. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Councilman Adams, you have anything?
Yes, just a moment. Mr. Bass, I again wanted to thank you for bringing all the attention and accreditation to our city parks. I know that you and your staff have worked extremely hard to do that, and congratulations on that award for 2022. You brought up Fowler Field, and I noticed the new playground equipment. I also received an email this week that I think you have already responded to,
Yes, sir.
and I appreciate your response and the way that you handled that with that concerned citizen. Just excited about the direction of the Parks and Rec Department as a whole. The golf course continues to amaze me. I know it's been, in some ways, a red herring on us as far as the city owning it all of these years, and there's always talk of why do we need that, but it would actually be one of the few parts of the Parks and Rec Department that actually is a revenue provider, and we need to remember that. So I just appreciate you and everything that you do in that regard, and in all of them, because it's a better community when you have that much recreation available.
Yes, sir.
Great job. Congratulations, sir. Thank you, sir.
Councilmember Miller? That's me.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And thank you so much, Chris, for keeping us up to date on everything that's going on, but also the top-notch job that you and your team are continually doing for our community. And I think my only question, I know we had talked at one point about implementing some new sports. I think it was like lacrosse and a couple things like that we had been trying out. How are those going?
So we've already started the planning. As soon as the construction is finished at Jesse Davis, you'll be seeing lacrosse. That's one of the first. And we'll start by offering some mini camps. We'll utilize our other open space to lead up to that. But we're definitely on board with lacrosse.
That's really exciting. Thank you.
All right, the chair, Mr. Watts.
Well, the new field at Jesse Davis will be striped for at least 3 sports, right? Soccer,
sir.
football, and lacrosse. And so that'll be a big addition. I just, I don't know how we compare to other cities our size, but when I look at our parks inventory and the way that they look and the changes that have been made to improve those, I'm just, glad I'm a resident of Douglasville, and I think our parks are, of course, headed up by Chris and all those folks underneath him that answer to him that get the job done. We just appreciate our Parks Recreation staff, and thank you for all of that.
Thank
Madam
you
Mayor,
so
that's all I had.
Thank you so much, Coach Watts. I did have a couple other things I thought about. Mill Village and the community garden, how is that going?
So the community garden is actually under Keep Douglasville Beautiful, but we do work in tandem to figure out ways to increase programming for our youth and get them involved in community garden. But
Okay,
that's under.
isn't it at Mill Village, though?
No, ma'am. No,
Where
ma'am.
is
It's
it?
in the same neighborhood. It's walking distance, but it's not in the actual Mill Village Park.
Okay, I thought it, see, I'm all off. And the portfolio, the town green is going to become part of the portfolio with the Parks Department. And the police department did a presentation about security and all of that. So are we going to, is that going to be addressed at the retreat? Or,
Yes, I think Mr. Bass can address, I guess, a high level of what they will be doing from a maintenance standpoint, but program and operation is going to be under CVB. They'll be
Okay.
handling more of the maintenance matters.
so it is not going to be under the Parks and Recreation portfolio, it's the Community and Visitors Bureau?
Yes, ma'am. All of the booking, all of the rentals, all of the activities related to tourism will be handled by CVB.
Okay.
There will be some programming that the Parks Department provides, but it's going to be more on a, I don't want to say boutique, but on a smaller basis.
Right.
You can mention some of that, Chris, if you want to do that.
So, for example, we have our movie in the park. We'll host some of those events over there, but we'll work with the tourism department to offer those programs. And we'll also be helping the tourism staff a lot of the events and concerts and other events going on at the Town Green.
Okay, so that is not under the Committee for Parks and Recreation, Town Green will not be under?
It is still under the Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee. It's just as far as his department for
Okay.
managing and operations, that'll be under the Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Okay, all right, because I knew it was a green space. I have to put it in my brain. Let's go. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Bass. Any other comments or questions or concerns? No, thank you so much. We appreciate your presentation.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
You're welcome. So that was our staff report. Do we have any comments from citizens and delegates? Yes, ma'am.
We have just 2 other staff announcements, if you don't mind, Mayor.
Please, please.
All right, I'll announce one first, and then our deputy chief has an announcement. Our first announcement is your assistant city manager was just awarded an accolade for being one of the top 100 government professionals by ELG. She can come on up and
What
tell
you
us about it.
say?
But yes. Miss
Congratulations.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Chelsea Jackson, 6695 Church Street. As Madam City Manager announced, I did receive and honor top 100 of government influencers in the U.S. By emerging local government leaders. I found out yesterday, the article came out about 3 days ago, and I found out via LinkedIn. Someone told me congratulations. I went to the article, and my picture and everything was there. But it's honoring local government officials throughout the U.S., individuals that are diligent, supportive, inclusive throughout their city and county. So I'm very appreciative of the honor and whoever nominated me, because I still don't know. So, but I'm very appreciative.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Wow. Congratulations, Miss Chelsea. We're so proud. We need to give some, well, I don't, toast. Oh, goodness. Congratulations. We are so very proud of you. We already knew that, but it's good that the world knows now, too.
Thank you.
United
It's
States
always
State.
it's a privilege and an honor to serve the Douglasville community and to serve you all as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Let's give her another hand. That's so sweet. Let's see.
All right, Deputy Chief.
Some late-breaking news. Chief Sparks and Captain Cannon are in Augusta for the yearly conference of the Georgia chapter of the FBI National Academy, where their police department was just named the Agency of the Year.
Douglasville
Douglasville Police Department.
of the year? Whoa. Whoa.
And Chief Sparks was named the Member of the Year for the FBI National Academy.
Are
for
you
Georgia.
kidding me? Oh, my gosh. It's some smoke in this room. My eyes are leaking. Oh, gosh.
I'm sure he'll have more information about it. They just awarded this afternoon, so I just found out.
That is, congratulations. That is so wonderful. Look at Douglasville.
Deputy Chief, who's taking pictures?
I know it.
Okay, good.
We need to, communications, I know we need to do a press release and put it out there, Miss Emily. Oh, my gosh. I'm done. That was perfect. Any other comments, City Manager? That's enough right there.
No more awards.
So we can, we can walk around as Cities United
That's
like,
correct.
hey,
That's
look at
it.
us.
That's right.
That's a blessing. It's a blessing. Yes, sir. Any other thing? Okay. We don't have any other comments, then any other business? This meeting is adjourned. Wow, wow, wow.